If you love the state of Kentucky as I do, then you will also love the podcast dedicated to celebrating all things Kentucky. Sam Moore is the creator and host of Blabbing in the Bluegrass. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Angie. Thanks for having me this morning.
Well, I'm excited to share your story. Now, you may know this. You've been a famous person in my family since you were a toddler. My sister, Kathy Ellsworth, worked with you many, many years ago. She's always been talking about Sam Moore, and look at you now with your own podcast.
Well, I fake it till I make it. Yeah, Kathy was a real blessing to me when I was in preschool, and I haven't had to pay her anything to say good things about me all these years, but she's good people, and I think a lot of her.
Well, I do too. Well, Sam, tell us about your podcast. I mean, those are interesting endeavors. It's time-consuming. You've got to present a program. Yours is fairly lengthy. So what were you thinking when you decided to go this route?
Well, you know, I'd had a number of people suggest to me that I should start a podcast, and I love the state of Kentucky. I always have. I've been interested in different facets of it, and I'd find myself randomly posting Facebook stuff about the state just for grins and giggles, and I thought, you know what, maybe I can channel that into a podcast, because I kept trying to think of topics that would really catch on and that people would hopefully be interested in. So that was the inspiration for my podcast, and I'm 6 episodes in so far, and it's gone really well, and I've enjoyed it, and hopefully the listeners have too.
Well, it's hard not to enjoy it. You are so enthusiastic and so upbeat. It's just fun to listen to. I listened to the one about the Thanksgiving installment just this morning, and I loved visiting Bardstown, Kentucky with you and traveling all over the state. So do you pick a theme, or I mean, besides Kentucky, do you pick like parks and recreation? Do you pick restaurants? How do you decide?
Well, my goal, I try to be pretty flexible, but my goal is to promote state parks, restaurants, musicians, pretty much anything or anybody with meaningful connections to the Commonwealth. So like you said, last week I had Christy Osborne from Rock House on the River here in Henderson, and we featured my old Kentucky Home State Park. And this week on the show, which comes out Wednesday, we're going to be featuring Noth's Barbecue, which is a barbecue legend, and in Grand Rivers, Kentucky. And then we're also featuring General Butler State Park in Carrollton. Susan Spears, the manager, is going to be talking to me about General Butler. So, you know, that's basically my theme to this point, but I'm flexible and open to other ideas, and who knows what the future holds. Well, tell us about your theme song. I'm assuming that's you singing. Yes, that's me singing, and I wrote the lyrics, and E.J. Simmons, a buddy of mine from church, he actually provided the musical accompaniment. He recorded the instrumentals in the background, and then I was able to sing over top of it. And we didn't actually get together. I thought we'd have to, but I was able to use my editing software that I've learned about this year here at the house and just sing over top of it. And luckily, here again, I faked it till I made it. Well, it works. It really works, and it does lead us into what the show is about. We have just a few seconds left. Sam, let everybody know how they can listen to Blabbing in the Bluegrass. Well, sure. It's once a week. New episodes come out every Wednesday. I've got an all-new Blabbing in the Bluegrass Facebook page. Just search Blabbing in the Bluegrass on Facebook. It should take you right to it. I'm also on Google Play and Spotify, so you can listen to and subscribe to the show there. And if you send me an email, it's bluegrassblabbing@gmail.com. BLUEGRASSBLABBIN@gmail.com. I can send you a link to the website and the RSS feed as well to subscribe. And feel free to pass any questions, comments, and suggestions for the show along as well. Sam Moore, thanks so much for sharing your story with us. Thank you, Angie. Appreciate it. We'll be back with more local lifestyles right after this. Stick around.